got an amazing two-man ultimate off.
Alright, my mic's going off.
Okay.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Factions matches. Today it is the 16th of November. I am JD, currently watching something else Mage here. I'll stop that. As your main caster, and with me today is my casting partner, Mamoplasm, who I've never met before.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Your name is Chad. Live with it. We also have Mavis here, who will be talking about a live stream charity event that will be happening in the near future. And of course, the streamer Porkchop is here as well.
Hello.
Today's matches are between Freljord and Shadow Isles. Yesterday, for those that did not watch, was an astounding 3-0 victory by the Bilgewater team against Ionia, securing themselves an island and extra bounce of power points.
I actually only caught the second game yesterday.
Did you see the amazing play by none other than JD Mage when Lee Sin kicked Nautilus, and then while Nautilus was flying through the Q to land on Master Yi, past the tree line?
Yes.
Perfect.
It was quite impressive.
You've gamed your name back. You're now a mime again. Yes, but anyway, what are we waiting on right now, Pork? Oh, people to...
Yeah, people getting set up in raid call.
Alrighty. Well, this is the first time I've casted, and it's the first time that I've seen a number of these players on Freljord, actually. Even
Don't
though
worry,
I've
I'll
played
show you the
a
ropes,
number
kid.
of games with them, as both in games with just pickup matches and playing in some of the featured matches myself. But I'm glad to see that everybody showed up today. I was worried that we weren't going to have a bronze player today. I was all worried about it because last night I was looking at the Freljord signups and there was no bronze player signed up. None at all.
That is something to note with Freljord's team. They actually failed to submit an actual team name and co-captain. It was only 4 people that were actually signed up.
I looked at the list and there was like 11 people, but there was like 5 silvers, 4 golds, 3 high-level players, and like that was it.
Well, it is nice that we don't have to forfeit on the side of Freljord today. Granted, these raid call delays are being a little bit timely. Though then again, we are starting 4 minutes early. It's odd, in all honesty.
Unusual. We're starting early. How
This is wrong. Everybody, waste time! Get on Reddit! Oh god, not Reddit.
No, actually, I don't think I've ever been on Reddit.
Nor have I. So that's good to know that there's someone else that is not from the Redditing.
Well,
Oh.
I guess we could talk like strategies. There are those.
Indeed. Freljord. Doing things. Shadow
Yeah,
Isles.
I guess Freljord
failing at
is...
things.
Freljord does have a really strong team comp in just on their roster this arc. The roster has so much good crowd control and team fight, and it just really pulls through in the mid game, especially if Freljord can manage to pull on the teamwork. The Freljord team just absolutely thrives in the team fight stage of the game. And really, really dominates any team fight with all of its ultimates.
On the opposite side of...
Yeah, and then on the other side you have the Shadow Isles that really gets in on pickoffs with like fiddlesticks and good positioning and thresh hooks and all of the Mordekaiser burst that they seem so fond to bring to bear on, well, everybody unfortunate enough to get close enough to him.
Up, and the picks have started. A few things to note real quick that in terms of both teams are very crucial on a few things. Mainly Shadow Isles, if Thresh does not land his death sentence or even the point-blank flay, it means a failed team fight from the get-go unless the enemy team is completely and utterly hungry for kills. And of course on Freljord's side, they actually just need to land skill shots. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We have a Mumu being banned out by blue team, Bran on the other. Let's see what they spell. If Freljord bans out Ace again, I swear to God, I'm going to flip a table.
Well, it is definitely something that's a popular ban. It is a nice three-letter word that fits
Shut
in.
up,
Well then.
AV.
A V.
They might go for AVC for AV Club. Or whatever that stands for.
I think Shadow Owls are going to be spelling boo.
Yes, because Shadow Owls, just like 8 people who ban out Ace, very unoriginal and probably retarded. Granted, Shadow Owls may not have much to ban out, but they could at least go for some neutral words like cat or dog.
And there's the Ash pick. How typical. Nothing unexpected.
Ooh,
like
Poncho pulling out York. Very nice to see.
York
Poncho.
is a good champion against Freljord's top lane. With his strong sustain, he can easily play against anybody that they might send top. And he does have a good tanky mid game. Gives the Shadow Isles something to fall back on when the Freljord team fight starts kicking in. Especially if he can put his Ghost on
either the ADC or anybody on their team is actually fed enough to do things with it.
Yeah. Well, let's see who else they pick here with the
Karthus so far with Barrier.
Karthus isn't a very good target for his Ghost, but if they have a Nocturne would be a good target for the Ghost.
Braum being
especially
locked
if he
in.
builds more assassin-y instead of tanky.
Metric Trout hovering over. Yep, that is a Sejuani locked in for the jungle, it seems. Thankfully, not a mid lane. And Thresh, of course, being hovered over Mike. Unfortunately, losing out on Evelyn again. Shadow Owls, in their recent attempt to do anything in Nyroth, lost champion. Well, I would say champions, but it was only Evelyn, I believe.
Only Evelyn this time instead of the crippling triple ban from last week.
Yes, that was incredibly painful and incredibly hilarious that happened. Fiddlesticks also being hovered over right now by Demaster, and looking over the veteranicity of the team so far. Whitaker, Metric Trout, Alchemin, and Frost Archon I have seen very often in future games. Flash and Fuse, I do not recall him, but I know I've heard the name before, other than the Challenger team, of course. On the Shadow side, we of course have
and
Poncho.
the last minute switch to a Nocturne instead of a Fiddlesticks in the jungle. That's an interesting choice.
Now, we also have Poncho Grande, a very famous Shadow Owls player on his very fun York, his other main champion, of course, being Hecarim. Million, Chromillion, my apologies. I have seen him often before in the previous 3 weeks. 501 First Big Mike, of course I said the name wrong because I'm an idiot, has been around for a very long time. And Demaster, aka Paul, whose name has not been given back to him, a Nocturne. And, of course, Gemma Paprika, the very recent and very famous Diamond Urgot main, who has been skyrocketing the Shadow Isles wins ever since he joined. Granted, that's like 3 weeks.
Urgot is one of my favorite champions. I've always been looking forward to seeing him played again ever since I used to play him back before they nerfed his W, back when it scaled off of AD.
Oh, wow.
That was good times. Good times indeed.
Yeah, we don't want any AD scaling shields, releases Riven.
Urgot, the problem was that Urgot's shield scaling off of AD was absolutely ridiculous because he could actually build damage and not die. It was fantastic.
I could also see the problem with it being the fact that it lasts for about 5-6 seconds, so yeah, that could be a problem.
His W can be up permanently with a bit of cooldown reduction purchase.
But at the same time, by the time you would get cooldown reduction, you would have to have enough money in your build itself to warrant it.
Well, you build Ionian Boots of Lucidity and you build yourself a Black Cleaver, and then you take the 5% cooldown reduction in your masteries instead of the attack speed, and it's 30% right there. And that's just on boots and a core item.
I also do believe Zeke's Herald, doesn't that... No, that's a personal 10% cooldown reduction, or not above. It was just the life steal.
But it does increase lifesteal. Which is helpful.
Now,
interesting that they chose to take Lissandra.
Top lane Lissandra's been very common. Now, I'm going to shut you up real quick, Mike, because we do have a lot of time right now, and we have Mavis here to talk about Extra Life. Mavis, unmute yourself.
I've been unmuted since banning finished.
Mavis here. Explain to us what the Extra Life's live stream is going to be, and when.
Okay, for those unfamiliar with Extra Life is a video game type charity that asks gamers to do 24 hours and to donate about $100 each to help childhood hospitals. What we're going to do is we actually set up a team, and I just put the link into Twitch chat, and we are going to try to raise as much money as possible and do 24 hours of league matches. We'll also try doing a couple factions. We'll do the fun, as always, like blondes versus redheads, fire versus water type matches. And we're just going to spam 24 hours of League of Legends with as many factions people as we can. I put the link in chat. That takes you to our team page. If you want to donate, just go to the roster, pick one of our random team members, or you can just grab somebody and donate. If you want to join us, go ahead. Just click on the link, and then it's going to ask you to set up a profile, and that's pretty much it. You don't have to sign up for Extra Life to participate in the stream, but it would be appreciated if you sign up and can, talk to your family and get some donations in for us.
Wonderful. Now, along with that, I will be doing an entire 24-hour casting session. That's right, everybody. You'll be hearing this lovely voice for 24 continuous hours, or until I shoot myself by not having enough sleep. One of the two things will happen.
Or until, we pull you in and we just do 5v5s.
I will still be casting. Only you guys would hear it, though. Honestly, after I finish casting these games, I can't stop talking like this. It's a medical problem. I've been going to doctors all around the world. They've not wanted to help me because I'm annoying.
Well, you should talk to Freak and go to his doctor then.
He's out of my price range. He makes good casting dollars. I get volunteer work casting dollars.
So anyways, it's going to be on December 20th. Like I said, we're going to do 24-hour stream. I don't know the start time yet. It's going to depend on how schedules are working out for everybody. But that is, if you want to donate, you don't have to join. You just click on where it says roster. Just click on that, and it's going to ask you to pick a name. Just grab somebody, and then go to their page and donate through them, and it goes to the team directly.
Now today, the date is again December 20th. It is a Saturday.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be from Saturday to Sunday at some point. I'm thinking right now we're probably just going to start at noon Pacific and go to noon Pacific. That way we don't interrupt. Or we could do the faction matches as the beginning of the stream, and then we'll just keep going afterwards, type thing.
Yep. Mavis, thank you for taking your time out. I know you wanted to spend it with your girlfriend at the movies, and I appreciate it.
Wife. Get it right.
Wife, thank you. I don't care about your personal life.
So I will leave you guys. Enjoy the matches, everybody, and I will see you around.
Have a nice day, Parvis. Mavis. It's Sunday. I'm allowed to be stupid. Anyway. Mime, you are officially unshut up. Also, Heavy and Soda, why the hell are you in here?
Here we go. Game begin. Looks like we've got 4 skins for the skin. Shadow.
Ooh. Something to note, Chim, normally running with the Battlecast Urgot, is now pulling out Butcher Urgot, a Legacy Vault skin, I believe. He might have... Oh, wait, that wasn't up for a while. Never mind then. But still, very nice skin. Haunting Nocturne, of course, was just released back when the Harrowing ended. Bloodstone Lysandra released skin. Black Frost Nivea's her legendary skin. Makes her a little bit more evil. We got Amethyst Ash for some reason. Dragonslayer Braum is only skin, and unfortunately just the normal Sejuani.
Amethyst Ash is actually one of my favorite Ash skins. I have it myself, even though I actually don't see it all.
That is no excuse. She is not an ADC, damn it. She is a support, and you will live with it.
No, she's a mid laner. What are you talking about?
No, she's the best jungler NA. The game, or at least the spectator lag, has started, so we will see who will be the first champion to buy an item for their team and the first to leave the base, because that means more than the skin war. Probably.
Probably.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't been keeping track of the points. I'm just kind of putting tally marks randomly against people's names.
That always works.
Indeed it does.
When in doubt, assign points randomly.
The game has officially started. First person to buy an item is Karthus with the Dorn's Ring. And the first person to leave the base is actually nobody. 12 seconds and nobody has left base yet. Oh, that is Sejuani.
There goes Sejuani.
14 seconds of nobody leaving base. What the hell? Also, I'm going to be looking at this Urgot skin. I believe this is the first time I've seen Butcher Urgot since they've done the texture ramp. Zoom in on that.
Looks pretty good.
It looks a lot better than I thought it did. I like the apron with the bloodstains on it. Also the Bane-esque mask, the actual color of the skin, claw that is. Urgot, Chim, you kind of disappointed me there referencing Gurren Lagann and of course the Rumble skin.
I'm somewhat surprised that Freljord didn't opt to go for an invade on the Nocturne. Freljord's level 1 fight is extremely powerful with all of their lineup of stuns and snares. It's really easy to catch somebody out at that starting level 1 fight.
Here's the thing. For those that don't know about Chim, and for those that don't, you obviously lived under a rock, he has been pronounced as a god at Urgot. Somebody that when you see him play Urgot, you better pray to God he doesn't get fed, or even any CS, for that is the only chance you will have of surviving. His level 1 outplays have been something to be afraid of. Some players are able to just find a champion that completely and utterly cinches with them, and for him, it is Urgot.
I still don't think he has the 3,000 Urgot games I saw on this one guy's LoL King account. Guy had 3,000 Urgot games in ranked play for Season 4 and 500 in Season 3.
And wasn't that guy in silver or bronze?
I think he was silver too.
Thank you, my undead parrot friend, for proving heretics as heretics. Now go back into your cage.
No.
Damn it. Okay then. Anyway, starting out with the game. Anivia trying to land a stun on Karthus, doesn't land it. York versus Lissandra top lane. Decent poke coming out from both of them. Bot lane right now, Braum trying to be a little bit aggressive, trying to land some Qs back to back, that winter bite. Both of the junglers right now in their north side, their jungle respectively. The Master / Paul taking out his red buff, while Sejuani's going down to her red buff.
So far, everything's pretty typical. Nobody's being overly aggressive. York getting in some good harass with his fools.
Yes,
it's interesting that they chose to opt for a Lissandra against the York instead of sending like Trundle, who actually outsustains York because of his passive.
That is something I can admit as a very recently yet still loving York player. Trundle could be one of the few people that actually beats him.
Trundle actually just has a really good time against York because his passive restores life every time his ghouls die, and every time.
In the bot lane. Braum landing a Q, stun almost coming out onto the Urgot. Just gonna interrupt you real quick with that.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting choice, though. Not necessarily a bad one. Having range does give her a slight advantage.
It might just be for the fact of if she can get enough CS, which she currently isn't, she will be able to transport into late game with enough damage on her ultimate and combo to take out some of the squishies, while also ignoring the York, who will not be building pure damage like I do, but more tanky.
This is also true.
Oh, that's Braum being hit by the
Anivia. That's a very interesting matchup, and it really comes down
very
to...
low right now in the bot lane. Flay almost catching him out. I'm able to land a Noxian corrosive charge right onto the Braum point blank, and enough Qs coming out to bring the bulwark down.
Yeah, that's some pretty aggressive play down in the bot lane. The Braum Ashe lane really can't be as aggressive. They don't have that early damage like Urgot does with his Qs. they really do have to wait for level 6 when their jungler can come in and gank, and when their ults will turn everything in their favor.
Back up to top lane right now. Mid lane right now taking a lot of damage. Karthus landed the wall onto the Anivia. Will he be able to do barrier popped? He is out of mana. He flashes the stun, nearly flashes into the trajectory of it.
Yeah, there was definitely some action going on bottom lane, though. While you were watching mid, the Thresh managed to hook the Ashe, and the Braum hopped in with the shield wall to save her. She almost died.
Something to note
really
as well,
close.
top lane. York was able to send Lissandra back with 7 CS compared to his 30. He instantly teleporting back to lane whilst Lissandra was still walking through. So there was a very, if any, little experience difference lost for the York versus Lissandra, who missed on a very good amount of waves. Poncho able to get a right close and triple ghoul effect off.
Yeah, serious gold gap starting to develop between York and Lissandra. Already, Lissandra's 400 gold behind him.
Note that the total gold so far is about 800 difference between the two teams right now, without a single kill on either side. That is just purely from farm and any kind of gold regen that both teams have.
Ooh, like they really want that bottom lane. Sejuani coming in with level 4 gank instead of waiting and farming. It's like she wanted to try. Did not get the kills, fortunately. That play is very good, and the flashes have to go out, though.
1,000 gold difference right now. Looking towards who has the most CS, it is of course York with a near 30 or well, 25-ish advantage over the Lissandra. Nocturne and Sejuani are fairly even in terms of their actual gold. Karthus about 200 ahead. Chim only about 70 ahead, and then Thresh is a whopping 250 ahead of that Braum.
But Anivia is level 6, so now we can expect a lot more action out of Anivia in the mid.
Oh, and that will be Karthus falling. He didn't get out of the ultimate in time.
First blood to Anivia.
And that will be Karthus using his ultimate, but that will... Oh, the barrier is used! In fact, Anivia did still have her egg form available. She just decided not to waste it when she could easily use the barrier.
I think that she would have survived the ultimate even without the barrier. Karthus ult only did 230 damage, or it didn't even deal 230 damage because it didn't break her barrier, and she had 350 health.
No, she had about 200.
Okay.
I reviewed the play, and it had about 210 as the ult landed. Of course, it did not break the shield, but if it didn't break the shield, then it wouldn't have done... It may not have done enough. There wasn't much health left on the shield in general, but it definitely wasn't 10. But that is the Karthus ult out from Karthus. Anivia getting first blood, sending her in the gold lead, but the team itself still 800 behind.
Anivia has a fairly good matchup against Karthus, based on being able to stun him, whereas Karthus does have the advantage in range. His Q does have a lot farther range than Anivia's E and R, although her Q does have similar range to his Q. However, it's easy enough to move out of.
I would just like to point out the number of tears on the Shadow House team right now, paying homage to their fallen sister-in, Evelyn, crying all the time for all the loss. Anivia coming in behind Karthus right now, catching him out in the ultimate, using her E, chunking him down for 300 health. Oh, Nocturne surviving blue buff with only 20 health left. She
bottom lane getting taken down. Oh, can the Sejuani come in and save this?
Thresh using his box. Ultimate coming up from Urgot to secure that Flash will knock down the tower. Ult coming from Sejuani. Flash might not survive. Oh, the concussive shot does miss, however, as he jumps to a minion. Thresh trying to CC enough of the Sejuani. Oh, Ghost coming out from Urgot. Very chaotic fight right there, but no one else died besides the Ashe, and it did go to Chim. Funny thing to note,
that's pretty good for his gold lead to start. He's already got, let's see, he's up 59 over 35 CS. That's a lot of CS difference in the bottom lane.
And a kill as well. One thing to note, I just realized with that skin, instead of a Q being a straight projectile, it throws out a spinning chainsaw. It's hilarious. Looking back towards mid lane, Anivia getting some nice damage on to the Karthus using the tactic of throwing the E out and in mid fly, use the ultimate to proc off the extra damage. Very quick and very effective way to poke down an enemy laner. Garth is taking under 100 health right now. Popping up his flasks, trying to survive.
Nivea is definitely taking advantage of her power spike at level 6. Ooh, but here comes the Nocturne to help out. Unfortunately, that help doesn't seem to be for the Shadow Isles team.
Oh, that is a lockup coming
Nivea
in
running
from
out of mana, not able
Nocturne
to
having
secure
to
that
flash
kill.
away. The slow on Nocturne long enough for Sejuani to get back into basic attack range, though both of the champions will survive. Karthus did not want to follow in Nocturne there, and I don't really know why. He had a sufficient enough mana pool, but I guess in the end, it did save Nocturne from dying to Sejuani.
Karthus did only have about 1 E's worth of Anivia damage to take left. He didn't have much health. If Anivia had any mana, which he didn't, it would have been easy to secure a double kill if he had tried to assist.
We are currently we are 11 minutes into the game right now as I'm saying this, with a 1.65k gold lead for Shadow Isles. Wait,
That top lane and the bottom lane are
1.65k
definitely...
gold lead? Damn, that's huge.
The top lane and the bottom lane are definitely pushing their advantage, being able to out-CS very heavily. Looks like Sejuani's setting up to do some kind of sneaky lane gank with bottom lane.
Across all the
their
lanes,
ults are up.
across all the lanes right now, we do have halves of everybody's first
Here
item.
comes the arrow. And Urgot goes down. And there goes Thresh. Double kill Sejuani.
Very well played by
Successful
Sejuani.
gank.
Very well played by Freljord right there. Abusing the lack of wards in the tri-bush and in the bot side of the bot lane.
She actually sweeped, I saw her use her sweeper setting up that gank. And now going to the dragon, trying to make up some of that gold difference that they've lost in CS.
And that will be Karthus falling. Oh, he will not fall to Anivia. That basic attack will not kill him.
Close.
Karthus ultimate coming out.
Karthus
Fear
ultimate
not
does
able
not
to
take
pop
Anivia down. And Braum coming in to help
Nocturne able to
save
block
her.
the E actually. Q coming out from Nocturne. Will he be able to fly around? And the Q does
Braum
land and it kills.
lands it, gets the kill.
Braum Q blocking the stun onto Nocturne. Very well played.
They're getting really greedy here, trying to fight that full health Urgot and the Thresh with almost no help
Previously full
themselves.
health.
York's just doing his thing. Look at him go. Tower's already at half health.
One thing to note, his ghouls will attack the tower, though they do prioritize minions over it. Generally.
And it looks
I'd
like
say
the
is
tower
that
will go down. Nivea and Lysandra will not get there in time, although they might be going ahead and... Oh! Here comes Yorick. No, Lysandra's gonna back off, realizing that she has not enough health, and Nivea went the long way around.
That will be Vancho taking the first tower of the game for Shadow Isles, evening up the gold difference, even with a 4 kill disadvantage right now for Shadow Isles. Holy, looking at the CS York at 112 with a Hex Drinker and Tear of the Goddess right now. Buying
It's that serious out-CSing that's going to be keeping them in the game as this moves into the mid-game and the team fight begins to open up for both teams. That CS difference is what's going to really set apart the early game from the mid-game. Being able to take advantage of their solid early game, the Shadow Isles is going to come into the mid-game quite even, and their team fight is not that bad that they should be terribly worried about fighting either.
Nocturne opting to buy an Elder Lizard, which is a personal call in my opinion, versus the Feral Flare.
Yeah. That's a much more aggressive pick to be going after the Elder Lizard instead of the Feral Flare.
It might be
means
that
you might want to be
ganking very
more.
tanky. Or Failure is going to be very tanky, even in terms of health, and the flat true damage would be very effective. Oh, and that's York catching out at the blue buff. Oh no, it's getting the blue buff.
Looks like they got the 4-man gank on the Urgot down on the bottom lane. They managed to
Lissandra coming over. Oh, Lissandra does see York taking the blue buff and walks right back into him. Poncho with the Q up and ready, giving the boost of movement speed.
Lissandra going over the wall.
Successful wall jump by Lissandra.
Meanwhile, at their blue buff, the Shadow Isles is going to lose their Nocturne fighting the Anivia and the Braum for blue buff. Blue buff will stand, though. What do you claim it?
Poncho does teleport bot lane in order to try to help out his team, dodging the Sejuani stun. Knock up. It's against Sunday. This is my day. This is just not my day. We all know this.
Karthus ult going out prior to the team fight being
almost landing onto the
missed. Looks like that was a wasted Karthus ult. That's unfortunate. That long cooldown could come back to haunt him.
Haunt. I saw
if
what you
he
did there.
doesn't do it first. Looks like they are going to keep the pressure on bottom lane. Oh, the hook catches Braum, but he did have his shield up. And the Sejuani ult goes back
onto
out.
all three of the champions.
But they can't do anything with it. That's unfortunate. Ashe ult being down, the Braum ult being down. Looks like Nocturne's going to go pick up his blue.
York is at fairly high health right now, and he will only regen more. He's perfect for pushing under towers because of his impressive clear speed.
He does have good wave clear. His biggest weakness being negated by the fact that he has a Tear of the Goddess giving him lots of mana right now. He is a very mana-hungry champion.
Yes, indeed. Now, he does also have the blue buff stolen from the enemy team. I'm looking through everybody right now. Nocturne does get his own blue buff. I'm checking that right now.
Yep.
York doing a joke against Alchemin.
Top lane looks like the Karthus is getting aggressive with Lissandra. I don't know if this will pan out the way he wants it to, though. Especially with his ult still down. Lissandra's ult is also down, though, unfortunately, so it looks like Lissandra will not be able to press her advantage.
Thresh and Urgot waiting in the bot lane. Unfortunately, Thresh walked out of the bush and revealed himself. And that is a ward going down, but Thresh will be able to clear it.
Weeper is very good.
Okay. Lissandra clearing out the wolves while York is handling the Anivia now, trying to let the Karthus free farm top lane.
Karthus is taking advantage of his farm. Or at least
what I want to know
is
that the farm between everyone. Why don't you look at that?
I tend to do it at every 10 increments as I did beforehand.
But still, even though Shadows are down multiple kills, they're still almost even in gold due to just being so far off the farm.
Yes, we already went over that. We're not going to do it every 2 minutes. That would be annoying.
Do it anyway.
Shut up, you.
Ooh, looks like they're gonna go for another gank in the bottom lane, taking advantage of that, the combos
Thresh
on the
flashing.
ults. But the Thresh wall will keep them from killing him.
Mid lane, Poncho's holding off against Anivia and Lissandra, able to heal himself through most of the Anivia's burst damage. Unfortunately, he was snare locked into it during the last half of the duration. York chasing after Lissandra. May be able to get... Oh, Flash coming out from Karthus, landing the wall, but Flash also from Lissandra. She stops to taunt him. Stun coming out from Anivia. Ult from Lissandra, keeping her in place. Oh, the Q from Karthus almost landing to finish her off in the solo damage. Sejuani jumping right into the Karthus. Braum trying to block up as much damage as possible as Poncho and Chromelian are just damaging the front line and the back line.
That Karthus
coming out from
Karthus.
Heal
the
from
recall
Ashe.
in time.
And
So
Nocturne
close.
ultimate. A recall from Lissandra and heal from Ashe, saving the low health players. Karthus barely has any damage on him to speak of right now, but this will mean a free Dragon for Shadow Isles, which will help
Yeah,
give
that's
gold
an
lead
easy
at
take through the Dragon after pushing them all back. And that's definitely a smart choice. Although they could probably have
We're
taken
talking
that
about the
mid-turn.
gold.
The gold is now even.
Nope, 100 gold on the set of Freljord.
Although they could probably have taken that mid-turret and then gone and taken Dragon and gotten both of the objectives if they had tried.
Karthus might be able to take him out. He does have a siege minion right now. One more basic. Nope.
But the Anivia will show up to stop him.
Wall just in time to save himself from the basic attack from Sejuani. Very well done by Chromelian right there. Fortunately, the tower will stand with very little health.
Sejuani's knockup did not quite connect, which was unfortunate. That probably would have killed him, or rather, it would have led to the kill if he had been hit by that knockup, especially with the Nivea behind him.
W, which the AoE does give an on-hit bonus of damage, which is an auto attack reset, which if in range of the Karthus, she would have been able to proc instantly if she had timed it well, but that's slow, just enough range away so Karthus could survive.
Looks like they're gonna push down this bottom turret with Ashe and Sejuani bottom lane again. The Sejuani presence in the bottom lane is definitely given the Ashe the advantage that she needed to gather in some assists and get some CS off of the time that Urgot has been spending dead.
You're spending the time top lane with a Hexdrinker, Mercurial Treads, and Tear of the Goddess still on the York right now. I'm going to look at how much gold he actually has on him. 1,800 and soon to be 1,900. York has a lot of money left on him. He should use it soon, even though nobody's trying to stop him from pushing. Lysandra
he might go back to purchase. He might.
Karthus being caught out by a Braum Winter Bite, charge from Sejuani, stun from Nivea, and that will be Karthus dying. Unfortunately, no other follow-up from the Shadowless team in an attempt to keep the Karthus passive in power. That was a very well done play by Freljord and a very sloppy play by Karthus to try and poke down the entirety of the Freljord team when he himself was very alone.
Definitely interesting. We'll have to see how their York decides he wants to build. Finishing the Maw. Going straight for the Maw. Possibly a very good choice. Especially against the AP heavy Freljord team.
The shield
They're significantly lacking in attack damage. Their Ashe is somewhat behind still, even with all of the ganks bottom lane.
No, 22 minutes in, and she still does not have her Infinity Edge completed. She may have enough for it, but she's not completed it yet.
Looks like she'll probably be going back to buy it right now.
Unless she's stupid and buys boots.
Might have enough to buy both of them. It's 645 for...
Not if she got full boots.
She does have the start of the boots.
Home guard, you
She has enough for both of them.
Home guard, you idiot. That's full boots. Full boot.
This
if you don't enchant your boots, those aren't full boots. They're half boots.
Although with Ashe, I've seen lots of people prefer either Alacrity or Fur for the kiting advantage that it gives, since she's really slow with her base movement speed, but that permanent 35% movement speed slow that she gets off of her E when it's active does give a significant advantage when you want to kite, especially against slower champions with no real gap closer like York.
Now, either way, you understood what I meant. Looking towards all of the gold right now, it is actually 1,000 gold lead on the side of Freljord. Rod of Ages and Sorcerer's Shoes finished for Lysandra, Mama Mortius, Merc Treads, and Tear of the Goddess for York. We have Sejuani. Why do I keep saying Lysandra? Anyway, Sejuani with her Ancient Golem and Lindra's Torment completely finished. Nocturne with Lizard Elder and Aegis of the Legion, opting to go very tanky right now versus extra damage.
Ooh, that Urgot getting the ult off on the Ashe. Looks like Ashe is going to go down. Threshold goes down.
Threshold's coming out. Unfortunately, Big Mike does take the kill away, but Braum is right there, jumps into the wall. Anivia is on the way. Red buff is on the side of Thresh, and the CC lock is enough. Q coming up from Urgot might secure the kill.
Flash from the Braum.
And that is a flash wasted on the side of Fusion for Flash Abuse. That does even up the gold lead, and in fact gives a 400 gold lead towards Shadow House. Continuing on to builds right now, we have Rod of Ages and Archangel Staff finished for Anivia versus Karthus' Rod of Ages and Tear of the Goddess. We have Infinity Edge with Berserker Greaves for Ashe. Urgot with not a full item, but his two core items, which are the Brutalizer and Tear of the Goddess.
Ooh, the Anivia with the flash for the auto attack to finish off the Karthus under his turret.
Very flashy, but very effective. And then last but not least, we do have the support space of the mountain and Warden's Mail with Boots of Swiftness on the side of Braum versus the Talisman of Ascension Merc Treads on the side of Thresh, and that will be the bot tower.
Looks like Sejuani is coming in behind this Yorick. They want to go for it. Oh, but he flashes.
He flashes. Well done by Poncho, not being chased.
We gave up the chase.
Oh, that is Munamana and Manamune and Muramana completed at the very same time for the Urgot, buying a pickaxe to go with it. And a Ruby Sight Stone being finished as well for the Thresh.
That Muramana is definitely a large power spike for Urgot. The active damage on it is very significant.
He also pushes his Sorchin, so his Ghost and Flash will be on a much shorter cooldown now.
Thank you, I did not notice the upgrade. It matched the color of his boots.
Distortion is quite good on a champion like Urgot who needs to position well. Take advantage of his ultimate, especially.
Ooh, there's ulting the Anivia to help the stun. Asher coming out, hitting the Karthus, who does have his E.
Anivia gets disrupted by the Thresh hook.
Karthus being ulted by the Yorick right now. Lissandra ulting to finish off the Karthus. Urgot right in the backline, punching the Lissandra. Nocturne and that is Lissandra going down for Urgot. Unfortunately, Anivia is getting away. The Talisman Ascension pop, and that is Nocturne ultimate helping secure the kill. That is a
4 for 1.
I was about to say 0, but then I saw that Karthus 3 died. Something to note, actually, that was when Karthus died to Lissandra, York's ultimate proc first, and then once the Karthus died again, then his passive went off. So even though
that was a very favorable fight for them with that teleport in onto the ward. Still not effective enough. Hello.
Hello, my name's Jose with Apogee Retail.
Chad.
A professional fundraiser calling on behalf of the Epilepsy Foundation.
I'm busy, sorry. Alrighty.
We now know your ringtone because you didn't mute yourself.
I muted myself, but only after it rang first.
You didn't.
Wait, I did?
I want to point out something about that fight with the York ulti. Karthus was ulting while he was being revived by the Karthus, which means he could have been interrupted during his ultimate during that time, if they had known what was going on.
Ooh, thank you for noticing that. I was watching the southern half of the fight. That's what's going on. So after that wonderful team fight and the Dragon, that has given Shadow Isles a 5k gold lead, even though they are still 3 kills behind.
They're definitely using their Thresh to effectively control the Anivia. The Anivia is definitely a key player on Freljord's team. Her ultimate being extremely high damage if you let it be channeled.
Yes, and that is Last Whisper finished for the Urgot right now, so his Qs are going to be doing an insane amount of damage.
And there's a 2v1 going down on bottom. Urgot looks to be taking this though. Ash does not have the damage to take him.
And that is York right now to help out the Urgot. That will be Muramana to help finish it off, and that will be 3-man assist technically, since a kill is an assist, but it's just the kill. But yes, 2 more kills on the side for Urgot. That Last Whisper really helping him punch through the Brahms defenses.
They might be turning this game around from that early kill deficit, being able to pull out all of these kills.
York using his ultimate mid lane, trying to fight off the Sejuani and the Anivia. The ultimate, however, does die soon. They're ignoring it. That's 50 gold they wasted. Poncho surviving a 2v1 that almost turned into a 3v1 if Lissandra had gotten there earlier.
But York getting his move speed boost from his ghouls, getting away.
Karthus deciding to back out, even though... Oh, he's very almost completely
And he goes back and finishes a Void Staff. An interesting early purchase, considering that the enemy team, the Freljord, does not have much magic resistance built.
But that just means it becomes true damage, and if they ever decide to build magic resist, it will be very, very little effect.
True, but it's arguable whether or not going for a death cap first is better before they finish magic resist or the Void Staff effective.
I could see if he knew that they were going to try to get into a fight now, buying the Void Staff versus waiting for the needlessly large rod and the blasting one in your inventory. Since Brahms W does give a substantial amount of armor and magic resist.
It does.
And there are no other magic resist and armor buffs except for, mainly magic resist at this point, except for Nivea's egg form. But still, if you do not have enough money to wait for Death Cap and you're afraid of the team fight starting out, buying a Void Staff is not a terrible idea since you would build it anyway. And that is, again, if you know that you will be getting into a fight or if there's an objective to contest.
There's also something to be said about taking advantage of completed items versus ending up with lots of pieces of items. Frequently, what happens...
Have to be discussed later. Right now, Shadow is pinging out the Baron. Bot lane, we do see Ashe and Braum.
Ashe and Braum...
This might be a steal.
Terribly out of position for the Baron fight.
There is a... Is there a ward? No, they're chasing it right now.
Was
that Smite used? No. Okay, I thought I just saw Smite. And he wasted Smite! Nocturne did not use Smite effectively. Asher locking up the Urgot. Anivia seems to be a little bit out of position, trying to finish off the Karthus.
Dealing terrible damage.
Glacial Fissure coming in from the Braum, trying to break it up. Karthus being focused down by the Sejuani. Thresh trying to CC lock her down. Jim turning around. Will not land that last basic, or will he go coming out, and then will drop the Juwani, Ashe, Lissandra, and Braum in the backline. Ultimate coming out from Karthus. Nocturne just standing there for a moment. I believe even a stun would have ended at that point. Urgot killing off the Ashe as York is chasing down the Braum, running into the Anivia, who unfortunately does get away, though Pusher Urgot does not want to give up.
That Karthus is really low.
Oh, Urgot getting stunned by Anivia. Oh, basic tech coming out. Oh,
Nivea gets egged! Oh no! Nivea may go down. Nope, the teleport will chase them off. Here comes Lysandra, gets cleanup kills.
She might
Nivea
get
missing the Q.
A very good cleanup kill from Lysandra, using her E with Home Guard, which really did nothing for her. Just kind of a funny thing to watch.
Really, that was a mess.
Did let her catch him.
It did, but it was kind of hilarious how it pretty much just walked her, like it was a step forward versus just the Home Guard. But still, she ended up getting the Karthus down. On thing to note here, Shadow Isles opted to go for the kills versus going for that middle tower when it would only have been Braum, if anyone, to attempt to stop them.
They could have easily have taken that turret, and that may be a problem for them later. Once the Nivea starts finishing... If she builds Leandra's Torment, looks like she's got a Blasting One and Amplifying Tome, so she may be building her own Void Staff now. Later on, trying to push onto Anivia is extremely difficult, and it only gets more difficult as the game goes on.
Sejuani and Ashe taking out the Dragon right now. Doesn't seem like Shadow Isles will try to respond with respond at it. Something to also
will
note
steal
now.
the blue, though.
Blue for a dragon is not much, but it is a blue on a very
It is important to Anivia, especially since this Anivia has not opted to build a Chalice. There's no Chalice on Anivia.
You don't need Chalice on Anivia when you have Rod of Ages and Archangel Staff.
That's possible. See, when I play Anivia, I build Chalice on her because of the 20% cooldown reduction for Q and E, letting you Q and E on a 6 and 3.6 second cooldown, respectively.
Well, I don't argue against cooldown reduction. It is just, once you have those two main items of Rod of Ages and a Saracen Brace, you don't really need much more mana sustain, and you need more pure damage. But that is something to argue about different time versus when people are listening to us. Now, looking towards the builds right now, we have on the side of Freljord the Arm Guard, full boots from Lysandra, a needlessly large rod, a Void Staff, and Rod of Ages versus York's 1-0-7 York with a Mahavma Mortius, completed Muramana, Frozen Heart, and non-upgraded boots. The junglers have said Leandries versus Nocturne with his Lizard Elder, Aegis of the Legion, and what appears to be the build-up towards a Randuin's. With the mid lane right now, we of course have the Rod of Ages Archangel Staff build, actually Saracen Brace again, for Anivia, with unfinished boots and the components for Void Staff. Karthus having his Void Staff and components for Saracen Brace. Looking towards the ADCs, we have Static Shiv and Infinity Edge finished for the Ashe along with her uncompleted boots, versus the Urgot, who is up nearly 100 CS right now, with Spirit Visage, Last Whisper, Muramana, Brutalizer, full boots, and Spectre's Cowl. Looking towards the supports, last but not least, we have Randuin's Face of the Mountain, Boots of Swiftness, and what appears to be a Ruby Sightstone in the works for Braum, with a Banshee's Veil actually bought on the side of Thresh.
Why did Karthus just ult?
Oh, was that
Karthus
ulti?
ult?
Yes, he just ulted.
That was a Karthus ulti.
I didn't notice
What
that
was
because I was looking over
Karthus
Shadow's
trying
players.
I don't know.
Warning shot, he says.
Well then, everybody.
Karthus firing those warning shots.
Yes, that is a 130-second window that Freljord can fight in and not have to worry about the Karthus ultimate. It was a very big misplay, but if they can play defensively enough while not losing anything, they should be just fine. Shadow Owl is noticing that Freljord is very high in AP damage right now, even the support, instead of going for something more traditional, even if Aegis of Legion wasn't being built on the Nocturne, but instead of rushing towards Banshee's Veil. Very interesting. Oh, Scrying Orb coming out, finding the
That
Nocturne.
level 16 Urgot, very much ahead of everyone else in the game.
No
Urgot with
Shadows.
his personal gold at 13k over the next highest champion is Nivea with 11k. Significant gold lead on every other player.
Even with Karthus ultimate down right now, it doesn't seem like Shadows want to give an inch to Freljord.
Shadow Isles definitely has the advantage at the moment with their extremely fed Urgot. His damage is not to be taken lightly.
Nor will he be easy to take down because he does have his Spirit Visage along with Spectre's Cowl, giving him ample amounts of health regen. One thing to note as well for people that could see the obvious combo, if they're not looking at it right now, then I'll say it. The Spirit Visage increasing all kind of health regen also includes that of the Spectre's Cowl. May it not be much for a 20% increase for 15 health per 5, it is still something that really helps if you want to go for very high mana or magic resist. Oh, Hook almost laying onto the Nivea right now. We do see Nocturne top lane and Nivea ult just shredding through the Shadow Isles players. Karthus and York taken fairly low, about half health both. Karthus' ultimate will be up soon, but not for too long. Oh, ult coming up from Urgot.
Ult on Urgot,
himself on the
forcing
side.
the flash from Nivea.
York using his ultimate as well. They're both chasing down Poncho, who does fall. Metro trying to no health. Not York. Urgot's Ghost is not doing anything. It was actually standing there the entire team fight. Oh, and that's really being taken down as well.
Clean up Karthus. Oh,
Hook coming out onto the Sandra.
And the Hourglass.
Oh, and the
going down to
620
the
ultimate
Sandra.
stunning all three of them. Urgot taken very low. Nocturne about to die.
Big
Stun coming from
stun
Nivea.
out
Flash
of
coming from the
Nivea.
wall from the Thresh. They're trying to keep themselves alive, but the tower will
Gonna push
fall.
this tower back. Oh, the wall almost catching the Urgot.
Again, the York ultimate not being utilized. It may have been used, but the actual basic attacks were not coming out. That could have definitely secured a kill or two.
Yeah, the Oracle went down on the Urgot, but the ultimate did not end up coming into play.
I
The
believe
Urgot
it might have been
survived
that,
anyway.
It might have been believed that York himself, being locked up for as long as he was not able to control the goal. I say this because he was being caught up in a Nivea Q-stun and Ash arrow.
With Freljord going bottom versus Shadows, respawning Shadows could just rush out Baron right now, and Freljord couldn't respond to it. And they're bringing it out right now.
Looks like they might do it,
By
especially with that
Freljord.
pink ward watching the Baron, knowing that they do not have any wards on Baron.
They are
This is
walking past a normal ward, however. The Sandra Sejuani notices and are backing out right now. Unfortunately, it does not seem that Sejuani has home
Don't get
guard.
there in time. I think they're just going to... Wait, they're going to opt to take Dragon instead. Looks like they will not contest this Baron at all.
That was a very big misplay on the side of Freljord, giving up such an easy Baron when they could have just backed immediately after that push and gotten ready to defend it. That will be a buff or a neutral objective trade for the teams right now. Of course, Baron being the more effective source of gold income. Again, this is Sunday. It's my off day. Oh, I love this.
Shadow Isles is looking to check that Dragon, finding it gone.
Sort of figuring it out. Yes, but anyway. That is Urgot taking the blue buff instead of the Karthus, something to mind. The Shadow Isles team realizes how important Urgot is for their team. And yada
They
yada yada.
recognize that the Urgot is fed. Congratulations, they have made
He's nearly
a astounding deduction.
Somebody get on Reddit. post this around the world. Fed players deserve buffs.
But
Maybe
if
going to
Jordan says
clean
no,
out
good
that
luck
paint.
with that.
Shut up, Heavy. 2K gold lead on the side of Shadow Isles after taking the Baron, even though they did lose the Dragon. Now,
There is the Freljord is up one turret on the Shadow Isles.
but that is one turret. It is the middle inner turret. Urgot's Banshee's Veil not being popped from that volley. Ooh, Q landing from the Urgot onto the Ashe, but Brahm's able to block up 2 of the shots. That time, nope, Banshee's Veil still there. Urgot going for the tower,
Banshee's Veil
which
finally
is
being taken down.
by the volley this
They
time.
noticed
Minion
the
took it.
Nivea coming in from the top, moved to catch her out.
Stun
The
landing
stun
on the
wall
York
will keep
not
them away.
Now with the Nivea still a little bit away, she has rejoined her team and will be able to use her ultimate for team, but this will be a 5v5 underneath Freljord's tower if they choose to dive. Even though they do have Baron, that would be a very dangerous call. Stun landing on the Urgot, not popping his shield. Ultimate coming from Anivia, bringing the Karthus down 25% of his health.
Meanwhile,
Urgot trying to
top
do some
lane,
damage
the
to the
turret is
backline.
being pushed by a large wave of minions.
Yorkul's coming out, basic attacks coming in around the sides of the towers. A very good amount of Qs coming out from Urgot. Even though Braum seems to be absorbing most of them, they're still dealing a lot of damage.
Nivea taking terrible damage. Oh,
Ult coming from Urgot flashing
going
on
down.
Lissandra and Ashe ulting the Urgot.
Freljord team ult.
Nobody dying right now, but there are very few people that are alive. Braum taken out, Thresh with very little health. Sejuani dying to the Urgot.
Egged and going down.
Karthus falling in battle. York flashing forward, trying to do something. Lissandra using her hourglass to survive the Karthus ultimate. And that will be... Oh, Urgot might be able to... Urgot does finish up, landing a Q to finish off the Ashe. This is 2 Shadow Isle players going down the mid lane right now. Or are they? There's
Shadow
only one
Isles
minion
comes
left.
out ahead on that fight because the Nivea got egged at the start of that fight, and being caught out by that Urgot's R really pushed the fight in Shadow Isles' favor. During that time when all of the Shadow Isles was hit by all of those ultimates, Nivea was not part of any of that damage.
Lissandra coming in to try and stop the Urgot. One thing to note as well, Braum died before the Thresh, who was staying at under 100 health for about 4 seconds. Only reason he was able to die was because Lissandra's E, which is that giant hand, was able to breach through the team and hit him in the face. But that does not give any inhibitor tower advantage towards Shadow Isles. Baron buff almost running out, I believe. It does have a little bit of time left, nothing to really matter. Baron buff actually keeping a few of those players alive longer than they should have, main example being Thresh with that amazing amount of health regen. That will give Chimpolka his last item, which is the Black Cleaver. This is a full build Diamond Urgot main. Not just a Diamond Urgot main. Buying both of the potions as well. Looking towards the rest of the teams right now, or rest of the players on the teams right now, to see who has the second highest in their build order. We have 5 completed items on the side of Lissandra right now. We have 3.5 for boots really, completed items on the side of York with what believes to be a Warmogs in the making right now.
Oh no, Braum is being caught out by the
Oh, the hook coming
wall.
out, break
Thresh hook.
glacial fissure. That will be Braum.
Nobody can save him.
Very great catch on the side of Shadows right there, getting out the bulwark. Anyway, we have 4 main items built on the Sejuani. We have 3.5 with what seems to be Guardian Angel being in the works for Nocturne right now. We have 4 main items built on Anivia with her arm guard towards her Zanya's. Looking towards the Karthus, we have another 4 main items, what appears to be a Banshee's Veil in the making. 2 Qs
Oh no,
and the E, 3
Thresh
Qs
hook
and the E.
catches the Nivea. Nivea getting hard by the Urgot. Looks like that's going to be another turret.
Contra
Shadow
Grande
Isle.
finishing off Anivia, point blank stun coming out from Sejuani, locking up the Thresh. Thresh dying to tower shots, and the Lissandra and the AoE from her ultimate. Oh, Lissandra's at very low health. Q blocked by the Sejuani, but she herself might not survive. One more Q from Urgot. Oh, she
Flash
flashes just
escape
out of
for
range.
Urgot. There
But at
goes
the
the
same time,
inhibitor. Freljord losing that fight badly. Thresh hooks coming into
A very
He
nice play from
rolls.
that. a Thresh hook landing onto the Anivia after Urgot's able to bring Lissandra down to about 66% health with only 3 Qs and an E, not even a single basic attack or any kind of other spell damage. It's a very powerful play there. Capitalizing at the same time versus waiting and then seeing what happens and then acting. Now, Dragon has just respawned. I do not think that Shadows want to try to contest it without their jungler nearby. It is 18 kills to 18 kills right now. 5,000 gold lead about on the side of Shadow Isles. 1 turret advantage and 1... Oh, that is Warmog's armor being finished for York.
Looks
1
like
tower and 1 inhibitor advantage. Now Baron is up in 30 seconds while Dragon is live right now, being taken out by what seems to be Lissandra, Ashe, and Braum. Will not be any kind of steal happening. Unfortunately, Karthus' ultimate does not work on large monsters.
Baron
Now
being
that is
pinged
Shadow
again
Isles
by
pinging
Shadow
out Baron.
Isles.
While Freljord doesn't know the timer of Baron, they do have it warded unless it is to die in the next 10 seconds, which I don't think it will be. I can't see the timer. If there's a sweeper that goes out, that will stop Freljord from... Oh no, let's still get the Baron pop up. Never mind. You get what I mean, though. Ooh, a sweeper being used on the wrong bush, and they're about to walk over the ward. Baron has just respawned. This is 4 of the members of Freljord.
Braum and Ashe are not near.
They
Seems
are
like they might be
out
able
the
to get
rest of the
there at
wards.
the
They're
same time
waiting.
as Urgot, though.
Oh, Anivia being hard caught out right now, walking past Yorkles. Thresh death sentence coming out, being locked down. Thresh box arrow hitting the Urgot, being blocked by the Banshee's Guild. Lissandra using her ultimate in the middle of the team fight. Anivia being taken down by the Urgot. Nocturne using his ultimate, trying to catch out somebody. I think it was used on the Braum instead of anyone else. Poncho chasing down Lissandra, though he's not going to be able to get much done. Braum jumping back to Ashe, but only dying to the Butcher Urgot, who also finishes up with a triple kill against Sejuani.
This might just be the game. They are pinging for the Nexus. This might be that.
Urgot wanting to get more kills. Does land his Q onto the Ashe. The slow coming out with Ghost Pops. He might be able to reach her. Oh, that is death. Death for the Ashe.
Ooh,
Well,
the Ashe
actually, no.
barely escaping.
He did not use Ghost. That was just increased Ashe movement speed. And that will be, instead of finishing off Baron, they will just go for the game. Lissandra trying to enter the team fight, popping her E a little bit too early. Lissandra using her Hourglass after being taken in by the Urgot ultimate, trying to go after the Karthus, who with enough slows is able to
defend it.
Though that is Nocturne dying to the Ashe. Tower might not be taken down quick enough. He's got
No,
half
that
health,
tower is
Super Minion's
definitely
ignoring
going down with the Super Minion tanking it.
it. Was not damaging the
Fortunately,
tower
it looks like that will be the game.
and that is York teleporting in just in case. He will bring enough damage to take it out if they are not stopped. Karth is using his ultimate very cocky right now, and that will be a very impressive win for Shadow Isles in Game 1.
Easily taking
very
that
well
game,
timed
catching out that Anivia on multiple occasions.
GG.
There is something I have to point out, though. That game should have been over a lot sooner if it wasn't for their Nocturne's fail smite on that Baron, with Lissandra being able to steal it afterwards.
Yes, that is something to note. Lissandra was actually able to take it with the damage from her ultimate. Not even the damage from a Q or basics, just the ultimate damage itself. A 3-kill advantage, about promptly 4k gold advantage on the Shadow Isles, winning them the game. Now there are 2 more games in the series right now. The winner of a... whoever gets at least 2v1 or 2-1 or 3-0 will earn themselves an island. 3-0 will, of course, allow them to choose any island. And the secondary bonus, if you do go 3-0, is a 10 points of power for the balance of power for the winner, and negative 10 points of power towards the loser of that went 0. Now, real quick, before we end this towards the second game, Mime, tell me, who do you believe deserves MVP of both teams?
Lissandra for Freljord for sure. She did a lot of work in those fights, trying to get in there, picking up snares, good snares that let comboed in with Sejuani's ultimate and her ultimate as well, walking down the enemy team. Fortunately, Anivia was dead most of the time and could not take advantage of that combo. Definitely
And for
did a
Shadow
good
Isles?
play. It was good play from Thresh and Urgot, who were catching her out with hooks and Urgot.
Mime, normally I
ults.
wouldn't tell you to shut up, but for the fact if we have about 2 minutes before the next game's supposed to start, I'm just going to hurry up along here. I assume you're going to give your MVP to Urgot?
Actually, I'd give it to Thresh. Those hooks
Really?
definitely pulled in the game. He's consistently managed to hook the Anivia into range for Urgot ult, putting the Anivia badly out of position, time after time. The Thresh hooks definitely made the game.
Well, I agree with you. The Thresh that did do some very good plays out there. I will give my MVP to Urgot, being able to pull out massive amounts of damage, and even in that 2v1 scenario against the Braum and Ashe, not having too many built items. I believe it was just with the Mer Mana, granted, which is a big, powerful item, and of going to give the MVP of Freljord over towards Lissandra as well. Though not being fed in lane, she was able to get a lot of kills during the mid game and try to help her team with enough CC, but unfortunately Urgot was already taken out of control. Well, everybody, that was the first game of today. That is November 16th. We will see you all in Game 2, and let's see if Shadow Isles will win themselves an island this week.